Hello everybody and welcome back to Samir Digital for a new video, and today we'll talk about content creation. Yes, finally. It's my preferred part in the web marketing process. So, how do we create content? When we talk about content, we talk about 4 different formats. We can have text, video, audio. All of these formats are what we consume on the internet. We all know that video is the most popular format because it's more entertaining and we can use it whatever we want, and we can enjoy seeing things while hearing things and even reading on the text. So we have all 4 formats in one. The thing is, you have to start with the content that is the easiest for you to produce. I will come back to that later. Audio is gaining more and more traction. That is because it's as entertaining as video without being strained while watching the video. You can listen while doing other things, like doing chores, being in transport, doing exercise, like running or anything else. You can do it without interrupting your daily flow. This is why we will have a little emphasis on audio. We know also that text is one of the most important formats for the web because of search engines. Search engines only index text. So the text is something that you will need to have in order to rank on Google or other search engines. So how do we create the content? We will take a lot of inspiration from Bellik's method, the inverted pyramid. The inverted pyramid is like a pyramid that is shaped like this. The base, which is reversed, is what we will call the pillar content. You will create a long form content, be it in text, image, video or audio. And this will be the thing that we will concentrate on. For example, this video is my pillar content. I try to do it once a week. I fail on the schedule for various reasons. I will explain in another video, but this is the idea. This is my pillar content. It's a long form content that I will use to make a case on a subject that is interesting for me and hopefully for you too. So this pillar content, it will be a 20, 30 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours, as long as you want. This content is the main content I will use. You can also start with a long article in text. You can start with a long audio format only. You can start with a long visual like an infography. An infography? Yeah, the kind of things you can see on Pinterest. For this content will be the pillar that you will use. Once you have your pillar content, you will distribute it on the main social networks that you can use. So for example, video will live on Facebook and YouTube in the longest format possible. If the format is shorter, like less than 15 minutes, you can use it also on IGTV. And if it's less than 10 minutes, you can use it also on LinkedIn. This is the pillar content. If you start with audio, whatever the length, you can publish it directly in podcast format. If you have a long visual, you can start with Pinterest. If you have a long text, you can use it on your blog or any blogging platform. Now that we have one of our 4 different formats, we try to get the other formats. So if you start with video, like me, you can, for the audio, just strip it. For example, now I have my SD card in the camera and an SD card in the Zoom, and I will have the audio directly here. If I have the 2 combined in the video, if I have shotgun or something else, I will just strip the audio from the video using a multitude of tools that exist and that are free. I can recommend to you, for example, YouTube to MP3. Once you upload your video to YouTube, you will extract the audio in MP3 format. Easy. Second, you need visuals. So I can take screenshots, or just after or before shooting the video, I can also make a photo shoot. Simple. You can even use your phone for that. It's as good as it can be. Or you can also create visuals using all the tools. If you are good with Photoshop, for example, or like me, I use Canva, canva.com. Very helpful tool. And for the text, I will use either the script that I prepared, I have the script right here, or I will use a tool like Google Meet or Zoom while speaking, while recording. It will create a file text that I can use afterward in order to create my article. Or just write an article about the subject that I talked about during the video. This is how I do it. If you start with an image or multiple images, if you are more creative type, more inclined into images and visual creation, You can start with that and animate those images using Canva or any tool available to create the diaporama, like animations like photo button, and then it creates automatic animation. You just add a sound. For sound, for music, for example, what you are hearing in the background, this is from Epidemic Sound, not sponsored, not that famous. So I use Epidemic Sound for that, and they have a wonderful collection. Or there are plenty of free audio samples that you can use from Facebook and YouTube. They have a free library that you can use to avoid any copyright strike. After, you will need to have the text. So whatever you created as visuals, you can narrate that either with your voice or by writing, or if you really don't have the patience or the knowledge on how to write, you can find someone to write it for you. And for the audio, same thing, like you can use that text and narrate it, or you can use any artificial generating audio software in order to do it. There are plenty of them on the web and free ones that you can use embedded in your computer or phone. If you start with audio, it's very simple. If, like, I have just this, the mic, I can use a camera. If I don't have a camera, I use my phone, or try to find someone who will lend me a phone or a camera. If you really don't want to appear, you can just use visuals that you will put on in animation form and use the audio as a background sound. Easy. And for the text, same thing. You use the audio in order to generate automatically the text or write about what has been talked about during the audio session. If you start with the text, same thing, but in reverse order. So you have the text, you can generate the audio, and you can generate a video if you want to appear. Easy. If you don't want to appear, animate some visuals, and that's it. You have all the formats. Now you have your pillar content and the derivative or the contents in other formats. So you use each of these formats as I explained earlier, and then you can start to make shorter versions of videos and other visuals that you will extract from your video. For if you have something interesting that you said, if it was a podcast and you have a funny thing that happened, anything that you can strip under 3 minutes, under 1 minute, under 15 seconds in order to use as stories, as publications on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, all the formats. See just what is the kind of format that you need and try to find that in your long format content. And you post that. From the text, same thing. You will extract some paragraphs, some ideas, just a line that you will add directly as text, screenshotted and published, as text, published as text. Or you will take a screenshot or a visual and add the text on it as a code. You can have a lot of different things. I will link below the method that Gary Vee uses in another lesson that he gave on how to create 63 pieces of content in one day, and you have a lot of different examples for different kinds of content formats. So that's it for this video, except that now you need to have the ideas, what kind of content you will produce. And that's very easy. You just need to make the simplest thing that you can do that has added value and that you can repeat indefinitely. Example, I can document my journey. I can show you what I'm doing during my day, and this I can produce as long as I'm alive, basically. The second thing is I can create videos like podcasts. I can get guests here and talk with them in order to talk about any subject that is interesting for me or for you or for them. I can talk about web marketing. I can have them talk about their business and how the challenges they face and try to find solutions. Or I can just make a podcast about passion of mine. I can talk about manga and anime, I can talk about technology, I can talk about movies and TV shows, I can talk about music, the things that are interesting for me. Find what it is for you and do it. You will automatically attract people that are like you, that like the same things as you, and it will help promote you and promote your business. And that's it, folks. This was my video on content. I hope it was interesting for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more. And I hope to see you soon.